Stir Kiniko was the first people to buy an Indian film after 22 years.
Wow.
We sell 3.8 billion tickets globally, right? We produce 1,300 films, right? Recognized by our Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, and he's acknowledged IIFA last year on our 25 years.
Namaskar, Assalamu alaikum, Sat Sri Akal, and a big shout out to our creative crusaders tuning in today. Welcome, Made for Media, brought to you by Indian Institute of Creative Skills, backed by NSDC Academy and powered by Media and Entertainment Skill Council. And who do we have with us today? We have with us Andre Timmins, the director and co-founder of WizCraft IIFA and the vice chairman of Indian Institute of Creative Skills, the genius behind IIFA, and someone who's seen Bollywood behind the scenes and under the spotlight, Mr. Andre Timmins.
My God, what a welcome. Thank you so much.
Most welcome. So, Andre, how does it feel to be associated with our new little baby called Indian Institute of Creative Skills?
Well, I think, we've been doing this for the last 38 years. Building this business, building the creative industry.
Right.
From 88. So one of our dreams was to see the day that this business gets recognized, at government level, And when we talk about creative field and we talk about WizCraft, we talk about what we do. While it's in the purview of, whether you call it event management, you call it entertainment, you call it, you give it that status, right? What we've been doing from 88 is actually, teaching people who didn't know the skills of events or skills of doing work or putting something together. Because in the 88 to 90s, there were more mom and pop shops, right?
Correct.
So what we basically focused on our people. We focused on training them while we got trained, right? Because we technically don't come from, business backgrounds, right? We've also worked our way up. And whatever skills we learned, right? We embedded it into our people, right? And they also further embedded into the people below.
Right.
So actually from 88 itself, we've been doing skilling, is teaching people in the creative skills because all our work is about, the creative industry. But the terms which are being used now and coined now are different. But actually the work is the same.
Exactly.
So I'm extremely happy to be part of this new program that the government has taken out under Russell's leadership. And I think it's much needed. It's much needed to give back and train people. And like what you were saying earlier, is what I believe is you can go, you can study, you can, get your degrees, you can do your PhDs, you can do your masters and everything. But as you grow older and life teaches you, your mindset changes to what you want to do. And what has happened in the last 2 decades, the entertainment business in various forms, whether it is music, whether it is behind the camera, whether it is acting, whether it is production, or digital, now AI. I think a lot of people are now looking at this business, right? And there's nothing like you were talking about from education and learning to practical to entrepreneur, right? What we tell all our people, and not only to do with WizCraft, right? Is to do with a larger perspective because it's not about us, it's about the industry, right? And there's nothing than practical knowledge. There's nothing that working on a job, doing something, an internship, learning. I think that's the most important thing. And I've seen this throughout my 38 years of being in this business, is that people who come today from great families who have studied abroad and, Harvard and they're so excited to see how this magic, because you got to understand in our business, in live entertainment, there's no retake like a film.
No, none.
Right?
None.
You know what I mean? You're judged by your event. There has to be clockwork, right? So the interesting part is how do you put together the creativity, the level of discipline that has been brought in the business in the last two decades. Of course, we don't want to lose our creativity and look at our P&Ls, which all the bosses today are more concerned. Hey, you got your P&L, So the idea here is to to build this creativity around what we're doing. And I think with the Indian Institute of Creative Skills, I'm extremely excited to kind of, give it time and set up some programs that we can do, because we do large events throughout the year, right? And along with our team, because we're not only getting people to come and intern or work with us, but there are so many people who have come, interned, and actually now working with us for 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
So I think this program is going to be interesting, and I wish that a lot of people kind of focus and derive good people into this Indian Institute of Creative Skill.
So we would like to share about your experience and how you've planned for IIFA all along. How did you come up with IIFA? And what was the journey of IIFA all about?
We were producing a lot of events in that space, right, for about 10 years. And boom came the 2000, right? And it was that time the internet boom, right?
Yes.
And so we thought that, listen, we want to do something of our own.
Right.
Right? Okay. All the three of us. And we were deliberating what to do, right? Whether, and as you know, there are two religions in India. One is cricket and one is Bollywood, right? So the idea was that, do we take the sports and do something in sports internationally? We were very clear that we wanted to do something international, right? Okay. And the idea came in that, why don't we do something from storytelling, right? And we felt that the second and third generation people abroad who do not get to see their stars, that time there was no Instagram, social media, right? So there's to be a lot of star nights happening abroad. So we said, why don't we take something and scale it like never before, right? To be frank, we didn't know what it was, right? Till we finished the first one. But we knew that cinema would be good because it kind of, looking at the world at that time, we felt that it's all about celebrations. And it's about bringing the stars closer to people across the world, right? So we kind of went down the road and said, okay, let's do it. And at that time we came up with, we said London would be the best best place to do it. And we kind of zeroed on it, and we said, because the blend is good, a lot of Indians there, the national dish is curry, you know what I mean? And all our stars love going to London. You know what I mean? So the first person that we went to was to Mr. Bachchan, Amitabh Bachchan. And we took him this idea and we said, sir, this is what we want to do. And he said, listen, guys, this has been something on my mind for many years, that we want to institute the film industry. We want to institute our cinema internationally. And what better way to do this through IIFA? And that's the time he accepted to be the brand ambassador in the year 2000, which we were very excited about.
Wow.
Meeting him at that time was like, it was like an aura, right? And we launched IIFA in London, right? It was by invitation at the Millennium Dome. The dome had just got built, right? And it was one of their first events there. 2,500 people. We didn't sell any tickets. We had everybody by invitations. And luckily at the press conference, we brought in Yukta Mukhi because she won the Miss World. So we had a blend of Bollywood and, beauty. Absolutely right. And, the photographers went crazy with an elephant and everything. And when IIFA got launched and we did it in London, we had a lot of buzz in the news there. And it happened. We had all the Indian stars there, right from Shah Rukh, Amitabh, Shekhar Kapoor, Angelina Jolie, Jackie Chan, Thora Birch, Kali Minogue performed, Sanjay Dutt. And I must tell you, it was not easy for us to fly 500 people, So taking them, convincing them,
right?
You know what I mean? That this is something that we want to do. They all thought this will never happen again, So IIFA today is 25 years, but I believe it's like a marriage, it's like a barat, taking people taking out there. And when after London, when London happened, and there was a lot of, I would say, vision to what we wanted to do. We never knew what's going to happen after the first IIFA, right? How the structure would work. Right. Even till today, people ask us, how do you do it, right? Because it's all about, building bridges, building communities, building, I would say, societies, celebrations, right, from countries. And the most important thing was also educating people on what we're going to do. After the first IFA happened in London, of course, we were very excited, and that time all the stars wanted to go to places where with a lot of fun, enjoyment. And then after that, we went to Sun City because he said, let's get to some casinos, right? We went to Sun City. Sun City, we were working with Sony, and Sony had just launched their first movie called Lagan.
Yes, I remember.
They said, why don't we premiere Lagan, right? But Amir Khan will not come to any awards. So we said, fine, there's no problem, right? As long as he's part of the entire IFA event. And that's how it became a 2-day festival, right? So we premiered Lagan, and I think if Amir Khan's listening to this, he was the closest to any event, right? Okay. And we did the event in South City. It was a great success. And actually from there onwards, we understood the structure. We understood that we were importing the country into India. Right? Okay.
Right.
So we could raise money from the country. We could raise money from India. And so this structure worked for us, right? Our sponsors were happy here. The government was happy there. Of course, it's not easy when we were building this entire brand. It's taken us, it's 25 years now. We've been to New York, Tampa, Madrid. We've been to places where there's been no Indian movies being shot, right?
Yeah,
so Madrid, Amsterdam, right? Macau, we've opened the market. Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Singapore, Malaysia. We've been back to South Africa. We've been twice. South Africa was interesting when we went with Lagan. Stir Keniko was the first people to buy an Indian film after 22 years.
Wow. And which was the last one that they had purchased?
You know,
maybe a Raj Kapoor movie.
Maybe, but there was, and they bought Lagan, they showcased Lagan. And after Lagan, in 3 years, they had something like about 150 titles of Indian cinema.
Right.
In Stir Keniko. Stir Keniko is like PVR here. They're a very big distributor.
Right.
They have a Bollywood map in Africa. So I think IFA today, it's a long journey. I can speak a lot, but just to give you the nuts and bolts. For us today, IFA is about India. IFA is not about cinema. Yes, it's about cinema, but it's also about India. We are speaking our culture. When we go abroad, our stars, our people, our songs, our music, our food, we sell 3.8 billion tickets globally, right? We produce 1,300 films, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I think today IFA is all about India.
Right.
Right. It's about building an Indian IP, right? Which is now 25 years old, right? And if I ask anybody, right, that if you can give me even 4 names of an IP built in the last 2.5 decades, I think, I would say IPL, which is fabulous.
Yes.
I would say Formula E to some level, and I would say IFA, right? Today, all our ambassadors globally propagate IFA into their country.
Wow.
So I'll give you a small example of how powerful our cinema is. We were being invited by Peru. Peru, Lima.
Yes, of course.
It's not very close.
No, it's very far.
Okay, so we went there, we presented IFA to them, and we said, you don't have an audience here. They said, no, Aishwarya Rai and Rajnikant shot at Machu Picchu, and it was a great song, and everybody, we are big fans, And there's an Indian family out of Argentina now that settled down in Lima. They have about 20 screens, and they show very few Hindi movies, but more Hollywood, right? We signed the agreement, and unfortunately, the entire cabinet changed, and then they postponed it.
Okay.
When they postponed it, and when we came back, if even today you check, there were night vigils held in Lima by fans and kids to bring IFA back.
Wow.
And they said, if any stars like Shah Rukh Khan, Salman Khan or Amitabh Bachchan land at the airport, there'll be 100,000 people on the streets. So we don't know how powerful our cinema is, right? And where it travels. Okay, it's no more centralized around India. So we have spent 25 years doing what we're doing right. We've got it right. Like Jaya Bachchan said, what's right, don't change. you know, and that's what we've been doing. We've been working hard. It's a very, very tough job putting an IFA together.
Right.
It's not easy. We travel with 800 people, right?
Absolutely.
And you have to understand, when we go abroad, right, all our stars can travel, they can do what they need to do, right?
Right.
But it's all about safety, giving them the best hotel, treating them well. You know, the biggest thing that's come out of IFAs, the co-production treaties. For example, the first co-production happened in Singapore when we did IFA for a movie called Krish.
Oh, okay.
Okay, $1 million was put into Rakesh Roshan's bank account
Yes.
for him to shoot for 45 days.
Wow.
Then after that, Dawn shot in Malaysia, which we got. We've been instrumental in all these, opening up all these markets.
Yes.
Whether it's ticketing, whether it's co-productions, whether it's technicians, you know. So in a very small way, we have contributed to the industry, you know, and we feel extremely excited. Now, not only to the industry, we've been recognized by our Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, and he's acknowledged IFA last year on our 25 years.
Wow, congratulations.
You know, thank you.
Wonderful.
And that's a big achievement for us, because see where we come from, right, and what we do is very different. We are in our own silo doing our own thing, right? But with IFA, it's larger than life for people abroad, you know, and we are very proud of it. It's an Indian IP, like made in India. So we are extremely proud, and we want many more people. There are a lot of more brands that are building in India, and I wish, like Sunburn's a great brand. They're building with things. So I wish that people focus more on building IP, intellectual property. And actually recently the government is also releasing a note to see how they can support IP brands build in it, because it's not easy to build an IP.
Absolutely.
You need a lot of time, focus, discipline, and last, money, right?
I'm an IP lawyer, I can tell you.
You know, so I only want to tell all the youngsters out there, you know, the life is easier today because on social media you can build stuff, you can do stuff. You don't need to, you know, everybody you can. It's like the music industry, right? You know, you had music companies earlier. Now you can release on YouTube and do anything you need to do. So you become your independent songwriter or a music thing. So we are extremely excited, and we want many more people to follow what we do. But you got to follow your dream. You got to follow what you do, and you got to be honest to what you want to bring out to the world.
Absolutely. So which are the other countries you're planning to take IFA to? Any country that you really want to go to and host IFA there?
So just to let you know, while we've built IFA, which is IFA Bollywood, and we have something called the IFA Utsavam, which is for the South film industry, because our industry is so large, right? So we wanted each one to get their own respect, right? You know, and we are now launching IFA America in Las Vegas in 27, where we're going to honor Hollywood films and Indian cinema in India, but it'll be like the Super Bowl abroad.
Wow.
Okay. Now again, when we do that, skill plays an important role.
Yes.
Okay. See, America is a matured market.
Yes.
Okay. And the one thing that we have started in IFA, and this happened in 2007 in Yorkshire, along with Leeds, we started something called Friends of IFA.
Okay.
Right. Where we were taking 120 to 150 kids from each region, from that region, and we put them for 20 days in IFA in all departments. So production, artist management, airport, invitations, show running, you know, green carpet, host handling, everything. And actually Leeds, after the first year, did a 3-year course with us where they actually send students. So Friends of IFA is something which will inbuilt into the Indian Institute of Creative Skills, where we can actually take people from here to all our next IFAs that we are going. So Friends of IFA has become very popular.
Wow.
A lot of the people who have worked with us in different countries have actually traveled on their own to come and be Friends of IFA.
Wow.
You know?
Amazing.
So that is something that we want to kind of push forward, because that's again is skilling, right? You know, bringing people.
Of course,
and a lot of people within IFA today have actually come in as interns who are
working
with us.
Yes.
So going back to IFA America, which is our new baby, which we want to launch, we want to now take over the world, right? Because I
You
feel
will, I'm sure.
no. I feel today Hollywood films are doing well in India. Indian films are doing well in the world,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay, if you look at Raja Mouli's film that did so well, you look at
Very well.
Elephant Whispers with Guneet Monga,
Yes.
right?
Absolutely.
So why not go and conquer? And we have a space. We are you have the Oscars, you have the Golden Globes, and then you'll have IFA, which is catering to our diaspora,
Absolutely.
to our people there. Right? We have about 5 million Asians there, right? So why don't we do something for ourselves, right?
Absolutely.
But we are not leaving our roots,
Right.
So I think the plan is ambitious in what we want to do, right? But what keeps us going is what our country is doing today, right? And promoting India. So that's something we're excited about.
Wonderful to learn all this, and it's really inspiring the way you people work. But WizCraft has always been a very visionary company since its inception. So what drives you? What drives your team? How do you manage to create such spectacular events that just stand out and such spectacular experiences? It's become more and more experiential. How do you manage to sustain that kind of work?
Oh, that's a tough question, but
Every time I work with so many event companies, but the way you deliver the experiences, it's imprinted in the minds of people.
I think when we started off, right, in 88 till about 94, we had a tough time getting people to work for us.
Right.
Because people didn't want to get into this business. At that time, it was more IIT, more, a
MBA,
white collar,
doctor.
doctorates, and, it was very, very difficult. I think post 96, when we bought Michael Jackson to India, right, which is another story. We'll talk on another day.
I've heard about it.
Yeah. You'll hear it from all the three of from different worlds, right?
Yes, definitely.
But I think Michael Jackson changed our life. Wow. Right? After we did Michael Jackson 96, we became a household name. People then recognized that, yes, India can do large events. Yes. India can bring in the coin of the term of events. We learned a lot from the people when they came and did it here, how it's done, and what it takes to do an event like this, right? When we talk about Coldplay and all now, we've all done that in 96, right?
Yes.
So I think what keeps us going is, first of all, our entire approach has been in investing in our people, because we are a service business.
Yes,
absolutely. Right? Okay. And I can very proudly say that most of the people that we have actually trained, who have been with us today, who are our leaders today, have been with us for over 25, 30 years. Right? So what we do is that we give them freedom.
Right.
Right? So, you need freedom to work.
Yes.
You need freedom to deliver. Right? Because without that, it's very difficult. Right? And I can only say one thing. For myself, every morning when I get up, besides saying my prayers, right, is that I look at every day as a brand new day.
Absolutely.
And what am I supposed to do? And the one thing I tell all the people that either are in the company for many years or who are joining, right, the most important thing is a relationship. Because today, what I believe in is that when you go to do business, right, anybody can do an event like you.
Right.
Right? What brings you apart? Right? Okay. What brings us apart is trust, right? That it's going to happen.
Yes.
Because we've created that discipline.
Absolutely.
Right? We created that discipline. We've created the template for all other event companies to follow.
Absolutely.
Right? We've created discipline, trust, and we can do things which are impossible.
Yes.
Right? And that we can only do because people will understand that when we do something, right, we will do it in the way that we don't disrupt anything.
Right.
To give you an example, we did the Red Bull thing in Bandra.
Yes.
Right? On the street.
Yes.
And they're the topmost people living in Bandra.
Right.
Right? They have an association. So can you imagine closing that place for 12 hours?
12 hours, yes.
Would have been a nightmare, right?
Absolutely.
But actually it was not a nightmare because we derived such a beautiful plan that we told the society management that, listen, we want to bring this to your place.
Yeah.
What more can you want with global publicity? And we'll stop it in between so people can come and go. There'll be no disruption, and we promise you that, right? And we did it, and it was fabulous, and they're extremely happy. And they're saying, listen, if you have anything else, we're more than happy to cooperate, and we want more events, because what we sold them was community. What we sold them was that, listen, people in this Bangalore zone should come out and celebrate.
Yes, absolutely.
Like, yeah, it happens in Brazil, it happens in
yes,
Portugal.
yes, it does.
People go out with drums and music, right?
Yeah.
Why can't we not do it?
I think planning is very important.
Extremely important.
To the T. Planning to the T is very important. And that's what I've seen your company is very good at.
Well, thank you so much. And, I think a lot of other companies do good events. And the only thing I can say, nothing comes without experience.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? You have to bring in the wealth of experience. And that's one of my reasons of being part of the Indian Institute of Creative Services is that I want to give my time so that I can now give my knowledge. A lot of the kids come and tell us, we can do this, we can do that. But actually, when you go to do it, there are a lot of hurdles.
Yes.
So that's where we want to bring in our knowledge, what we have learned.
Yeah.
Right? And embed it into them so they can be a better person when they go to do events. Because in India, it's not easy to do events. There's so many permissions, there's so many licenses,
yes,
safety.
Police license, safety. Yes.
Safety is the most important thing of our people. Because we don't have arenas today, we have playing grounds, right? So how do you plan it? Because end of the day, if somebody comes into an event, he has to have a good experience, right? One mistake any company makes, it's a rippling effect on everybody.
Absolutely.
So we try our level best to teach, learn, educate, not only ourselves, we've also had a lot of meetings with the local police, the local traffic, as to how events are done. When we did the Global Citizen Festival in Mumbai, and we had 85,000 people, we actually had people from Hyderabad, Bangalore, the police people came in to actually see how the event was conducted. So it's important to, give out your experience to other departments so they can organize the events better.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more. So now WizCraft has been around for about 40 years, 4 decades. Yeah. So, and you still continue to be the market leaders. What is the secret? What is the secret story that you are still number one?
Well, I think that's, I don't think we are, number one, but I can say definitely we would like to say that we are amongst the top 5 companies in this country, and we're extremely humbled. And I think what keeps us going is creating new avenues, taking risk of doing things which other people don't want to do, right? And making sure that today, see, if you want to be at the top level, you got to keep innovating. You got to keep innovating. You got to keep giving it that time, right? Even when people tell us you're 40 years in the business, I feel I've started my business like last 5 years.
Just now. Yeah.
Just now, right? Because every event you do, you have to be at your best.
New. Yeah.
And you have to be new,
Yeah.
And also today, with so much of new technology coming in, AI coming in, ChatGPT coming in, and digital coming in, most of our teams are innovating and learning.
Yes.
And even as we are growing older, we are also kind of learning and embedding as to what do we do next? How do we bring in technology?
Correct.
So we were first to bring in lasers, first to bring in 3D technology. We were first to bring in LED lights. We were first to bring in Michael Jackson concerts, right? So we've been always the first in doing things in this country, right? Okay. So that's what I think for us, especially because we travel around the world, we are connected around the world, we learn from other countries as to what's happening, and we don't feel shy. And let me tell you one thing, we are much better creatively than international creative people.
Yes.
We produced the opening of the Commonwealth Games, closing and opening. When we do IIFA in America, right? We did it in America twice. The stadium guys actually did a case study on our entire setting, feel, look. And they said, we've never seen any setup like this for any concert also in America. So it's all about thinking large. It's all about dreaming large, right? Okay. That's why, it's important to be on top of what you do. You can call us control freaks, right? But, in our business, it's always that event. You can't go wrong,
Yes.
you know. And we have a great team with us who have learned and embedded, because they've also learned with us over 25 years. And we have a great leadership that's taking this business ahead.
Wonderful. So, what is the last piece of advice you would like to give to the students out there who want to venture into the creative skills, the IICS program? What is that advice, one last advice to the students out there?
Well, I think, my advice to all the students who are now kind of watching this, and, first of all, we need to distribute this program as far as possible.
Extensively,
right? Yeah,
yes.
you know what I mean? And I think my advice to all of them is to basically, first, number one, be honest to themselves to what they want to do. Because as you grow and as you move, your thoughts change.
Yeah.
Because see, today everything is available to you on your fingertips.
You
You may like this today, then tomorrow you may say that is better. It's like the grass is greener on the other side, right? But my advice to all the students is to focus on what they do, right? Of course, think, dream, be honest to yourself. And for me, I feel today there's nothing better than the creative industry,
Right.
because the creative industry is so vast. Whether it's events, whether it's music, whether it's cinema, whether it's digital, whether it's AI, right? The creative industry to get into and what you like to get into is very large.
Right.
So for me, I think the students should definitely apply, and we are there to support them to probably they become part of what we do in our industry, or they start their own business and we support them.
So, Andre, it's been a pleasure and a privilege and an honor actually having you with us in the studios for IICS and Made for Media and MESC. Thank you so much. I know your time is very valuable, very precious. You're always on the run, but thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Heartfelt thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Well, that was a curtain call full of candor, colors, and costumes, because even people who create the magic deserve a little bit of applause. Well, behind the scenes to all our MESC and IICS dreamers, tonight you should just get dressed up, but never forget to show up. Keep creating, keep questioning, keep innovating. Never underestimate the power of a well-timed event or a heartfelt conversation. Till then, next time, this is Vandana Vadera signing off with a little bit of a smile and a touch of a tinsel. Stay real and stay radiant and keep unmasking the stage